Hey guys, welcome to the Shinpad podcast. This is Vignesh and my friend Bala, and we are back with the same continuation of our last episode where we were talking about Manchester United, our favorite club on this earth. Apparently,
Yes.
apparently,
That's a nice way to put it. I can't
yes.
lie. I mean,
You know,
we've discussed quite a lot of stuff in the last episode. So let us continue with
no, I
the
mean before we start off with, I was just browsing through the different jerseys of Manchester United, and the next season looks good. And previously, I used to be in a position like, okay, let's buy this jersey, but now I'm thinking like, why should I invest so much in that jersey? I don't know if it's true also that leaky image of Cristiano Ronaldo, that particularly the yellow shaded one, is pretty haunting. So I
yeah.
don't think I can buy the jersey. Yeah, but yeah, coming back to football, the team. Where are we, Bala? Where are we?
Where are we? I mean, in this season, like the season that has just ended, had we bought a midfielder, I believe we would have finished in the top three for sure. I
Now
mean,
we bought someone like Van de Beek, whom we thought will be doing good, whom we thought
but I
he'll be
mean,
getting game time. We Some of us slandered Ole for not giving him run time, but you see his performance is Everton. Yeah, it's not good to judge on just little amount of games, but yeah, you see where Van de Beek stands, and
yeah, we needed a defensive midfielder
mm,
badly. We've been needing one ever since Matic got his injury by the end of his first season,
mm,
uh, or at least an all-round midfielder. We got Fred, but again, Fred is a different profile to what we needed back then and
yeah.
what we need right now. So it's that has become problem. Matic, we could clearly sense that he was out of his A
Mm,
game by the end of 2019. Towards the first half of the 2019-20 season, we could see that he couldn't
mm,
sustain his intensity for 90 minutes. That knee injury really fucked him up, I guess. So. I don't know whether the management gave the green light to sign a
mm.
midfielder or not, but it has been so long. We've just delayed it, delayed it year after year after year, and now the midfielder market is so strange. Declan Rice is worth what they say that he's worth more than 100 million, and some of the
Mm,
players don't come without UCL football. We can
mm,
sign some players, but our management or the scouting team, I don't know
mm,
why,
mm, mm,
but they aren't inclined towards such names.
mm.
I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to even not get linked with proper midfielders. It's
Mm.
been like that for even when we were chasing Sancho, it was like Sancho or nothing, and now it's like Declan Rice or nothing. So
And the way we have signed as well, we have taken a lot of ample amount of time, a season. Sancho should have been signed a season
in
back,
2020, yeah, exactly.
and we were talking about how we were close to sign Haaland, and here we are sitting and talking about City going to be dominating for the next few years. I don't know. So
Yeah. It's
uh,
crazy. I mean, Ole wanted Jude Bellingham, Haaland, and Sancho, and he got one of them, but a year later than he was supposed to get those guys. Haaland eventually went to Dortmund. I mean, we can blame him because he wanted more game time. He went to Dortmund, and now he is going to City. So, and I guess Jude Bellingham must have also had the same doubts in his mind because he wouldn't have maybe started over Pogba at that point in time. So he wanted a starting place, and Borussia Dortmund gave him that luxury. So he went there, and he will go to Chelsea or some other big club, Liverpool next season. We will not sign him. So
going to a
yeah.
big club. Okay, you apparently said that. Okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
Like that, you see the way the clubs are leveraging their wages against
yeah.
Manchester United. So it's like either it's 100 or around 120 for Manchester United, or it's just 30-40 for the other clubs.
Yeah,
Because
it's been crazy. So now we'll go from position to position, I guess. We'll start with the goalkeeper.
yeah, we
It,
have talked about it. The way
we have
DK
talked
has
about
been
the hair.
disastrous. in this season. He has to like.
I mean,
I,
yeah, people won't accept it because he has saved so many shots and everything. But his overall gameplay, I don't know, it doesn't, he doesn't deserve to start for any big club, let alone United. So, especially when the new manager clearly wants to play a high line with possession-based system, I don't know how
I'll
the
be
manager
fitting.
will be able to fit De Gea into the scheme of things. It's going to be very tough for Eric Ten Hag if he wants to stick to a high line with De Gea in goal.
Maybe De Gea can work on his vacation since he has been picked by Spain. I think he can use that vacation to.
Do you think he will work? I mean, the guy, we have had 3 goalkeeper coach changes just because De Gea wasn't compatible enough with those coaches. So,
That's what
yeah.
it brings or begs us the question that who's bigger, the player or the management? So, or the management
Yeah.
doesn't have the balls of steel to tell De Gea that he's not doing good. So, yeah, either De Gea can use his free vacation period and see.
Some of the skills, I guess, I don't think he can ever improve in some of his aspects. But some he can work on, like at least coming out, stepping out sometimes, and trying to sweep. I mean, when he tries to sweep, it always goes bad. So I don't know. But a couple of things he can try, but not everything. Which takes us to the question of what are we going to do with Dean Henderson, or what is Dean Henderson going to do? Because he was clearly built up as the future starter for
Future.
Manchester United, and now his career is at crossroads, and he it seems like he clearly wants to leave the club. So
Yeah, it was. I know it's very sad to talk about Dean Henderson.
yeah,
Like he had a very good season at Sheffield United, and
yeah,
he
he was
came
the
back
player of the season as
player
well.
of the season, and he was pretty happy to sign a deal with United again, and I was very happy to see him back in the squad. But I don't know, it's a poor
Yeah.
script written for Dean Henderson by God, and here we are talking about Dean Henderson to Newcastle, or I think that's even a good deal also for Dean Henderson.
If it happens, yeah, it'll be a very good deal for him
Very good deal.
and for Newcastle. And
Newcastle, yeah.
Newcastle will have a shit ton of money, so I won't be surprised if they, overtake us and Arsenal very soon. It's like Arsenal are brothers in arms in this holy privilege to, pilgrimage to the Europa League. Sorry,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, if Dean Henderson goes, I've been hearing rumors of Sam Johnstone rejoining us on a free transfer because his contract at West Bromwich has expired and he hasn't signed an extension. So he is 29, ex-United academy player, and he was with us for like a decade. So he knows the club in and out, and we already have Tom Heaton. So if Henderson goes, it'll be De Gea. Unfortunately, he has a deal till 2023, and no club is foolish enough to buy De Gea right now. So because he earns close to 400k pounds, and again, no club
Who's
is
gonna
foolish enough
afford
to
that?
play
Yeah.
that. Yeah, exactly. So De Gea is going to stay for this season, and I guess
I mean, like
Johnstone.
if he's going to improve, I think we are gonna back him. But he has to look in himself in the mirror. I think.
I mean, he's a United legend, of course. He's been here for 11 seasons and more than 450 games and everything. He's a legend. Clearly, he was our best player for 4 to 5 seasons in a row. I guess he was. I mean, heads and shoulders above everyone else. The 17-18 season was probably his peak when he had 18 clean sheets in the Premier League alone, and we got the second place and everything. So but it has been downhill ever since, and a smart club should move on from its assets once it realizes that they are not going to be good enough anymore. So
exactly. Yeah.
we aren't such a smart club, I'm afraid, which is why we gave him that bumper deal in 2019,
and something with his contract and I don't know, like
yeah,
his
exactly.
contract and his Does it state that he has to play every finals that Manchester United qualifies? I think that's pretty pathetic. I mean, it's a good deal for the individual, but
I
end of the
guess
day,
it
it's the
states
club.
that because ever since he has signed that contract, he has played the FA Cup semi-final, I guess, and
Final, Europa.
Europa semi-final, Europa final. So
Mm.
yeah, it's
I think
been
something I'm not sure, but I wish if somebody can let me know. Samuel Lacoste, if you are listening to
yeah.
this podcast, please help us.
Yes, Samuel, you write a lot of fan fiction,
Garbage.
or sometimes he writes like it's an erotic novel or something, some of his
Yeah.
articles. So if you are listening to this, Samuel, please, we request you to find this information not from your insiders and sources, inside quotes. So yeah.
Yeah. I think
uh,
he thinks about Ole like when he goes to his bed.
it's
Yeah.
like a toxic ex
Relationship.
thinking
Yep.
about, yeah, it feels like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Talking about our team, and we have to talk about the defense as well.
Goalkeeping, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we are going to improve a lot with in terms of goalkeepers. So I guess Eric Ten Hag must have to adapt at least in his first
Mm,
season,
mm,
in order to accommodate David De Gea, because it's clear that he's not going to go anywhere
yeah.
and he's going to start every game.
Exactly. Yeah, and talk about our main defense. We have Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane, Dallo, Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Who else do we have? Bailly,
Lindelof, Jones.
Dallas, Lindelof, Jones, and we hear that Bissaka might leave, which is saddening. I think this season, yes, he hasn't been that good, but he has the potential to improve. We have seen that last season. I think the way he has pocketed Sterling for
Yeah.
number of times, or the way he has this long legs to clear. I think this season, yes, he's been pretty poor. So has been Dallo. So he was like
Yeah,
Dallo
it's
had a
like
good two start, but I don't see the guy coming back, winning the ball, or the can't say physique, but the skill to win back and do a proper pass. I mean, yeah, Bisaka has his own weakness as well, like the way he shoots or crosses the ball.
Yeah,
But
Bissaka at least tries to cross, but his ball progression and passing, like his passing is okay as well sometimes, but his ball progression has been a real worry. Whereas that's the one area where Dalot, scores better than him. He
scores better.
progresses the ball very well, like a midfielder sometimes as well. So.
Yeah, and on the other side, we have a guy who just crosses every ball. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Dallas.
my friend asked me to do a special mention for Alex Telles because he is so tired of Alex Telles just doing inshallah crosses randomly. Just as you just said, halfway down the pitch, if he sees someone, he'll just close his eyes and cross. That's all.
I still remember the game where I think it was West Ham where Rashford scored the 90th minute. 90th
Yeah.
minute, right?
Yeah.
I think to start off with Dallas did a horrible cross and it somehow landed to the next player. I think it was Bruno or someone who had I think it was like he saved us, like passing to Ronaldo, Martial, Cavani, and then Rashford. But the start, I think if Cavani tried crossing it good, I think it wouldn't have been a goal. But thank God that miss pass helped us with that goal. No, the first thing that comes up when people talk about Alex Telles cross is that match. Actually, it was a poor cross, and the way, as you said, like
he's been very susceptible defensively as well. I mean, even Shaw has been pretty poor defensively whenever he has played this season. But Telles has been worse than Luke Shaw, considerably worse. Luke Shaw, at least, he's very good while going forward. He had an excellent connection with Rashford in the previous seasons, and he was building up a very nice connection with Sancho as well. But his season has been marred by injuries, like one after the other. I hope we need a better backup left back as well. A left back who is just a tiny bit below the level of Shaw, maybe, but we need someone clearly.
Yeah, we like I think Brandon is finishing his loan
and he'll be sold definitely.
Sold, or like let's assume that if he is playing in the squad, he's going to be at the left back. I'm not sure if he's going to naturally fit into that, or if he has the physique to go against someone like Salah or Haaland and so all these things are questionable. And just to go a year back where we had the Euros, and since the Euro finished, like Maguire and Shaw were like terrific for England in the Euros, and even for
Yeah.
United before that, that
Yeah.
Euros. And maybe like I think we have talked about this number of times. I don't know if
Yeah.
there was a exhaustion mentally and physically, like all the how to say the England, like how England fans are. Let leave aside the club fans. Just imagine the England club fans, like how ruckers they are, how I don't know how vocal they are. So
Yeah.
to see that, I don't know if it had a mental effect or a physical effect on Luke Shaw and Maguire. And you can see there is some dip in their performance after that Euros. And I'm not sure for the other England players as well, because I think they were pretty much rotated in their respective clubs. But
Yeah.
like Harry Maguire is someone like who played like almost all the games for United.
Yeah.
Uh, and for this injury that he had in the mid of the season, I think he would have been playing all the matches under Ralph as well. But yeah, just to reiterate, I think there would have been some scars from that Euros as well that would have negatively impacted Maguire and
Definitely.
Shaw.
Yeah. I mean, even Harry Kane had a knock-on effect. I
Mm,
mean, along with that, he also had his move to City
mm,
not go through and
on.
all that stuff. But most of the players were struggling.
Mm,
Like we could take a lot of players who played for England, except maybe Declan
mm,
Rice and Bukayo Saka. I guess
mm,
everyone had a bit of a period where they struggled, and then Kane took like 3-4 months before he
mm.
eventually came back to form and everything. So it had a very huge knock-on effect on Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, 100%, because we could see that. I mean, once the season started, and it's like this confidence issue just mounts. One issue blows up into another, and then another, and after a while, it's just a huge pile of issues.
Mm, mm,
It's hard to come out of, especially in the middle of a season that's not exactly going well for the team as well. It's very
mm.
hard to come out of.
Yeah, and just to stick on the same problem, like Maguire playing for these number of games or Luke Shaw playing for these number of games. Ole was someone who was sticking to his squad. Like Fred and
Fred
Tomini were
McTominay,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think this style also had something to play? Like you take for
Yeah,
example Chennai Super Kings, the cricket team, for example, where their philosophy was to go with the same set of squad for the 6 or 7 initial games, and then they think about rotating. I think that there was a similar pattern that was happening under Ole. Somehow I feel that this could have been a reason.
I guess he didn't. It could have been the reason. I guess he didn't have a lot of trust. I mean, on the players from his bench. Though he, whenever he actually made some crucial substitutions, they ended up working more often than not. But I guess there was a clear lack of trust towards his bench players, and that led to him starting Maguire, Luke Shaw, even Van Bissaka again and again and again.
And just to highlight on Rafael Varane's performance as well, I'm just scared
He's
that
been very.
he might get more injuries next season, seeing like how he is turning out for us. So
Yeah, that's a bit of a scare. I guess sometimes, when these so-called big clubs like Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, when they sell their players, it's always a bit of a, walking on the knife edge kind of scenario. It happened to us with Schweinsteiger as well, but
mm,
Schweinsteiger was a different case. He was actually like
already
he was
past this. Yeah.
he was already past his prime, but
Mm,
I thought it would happen to Liverpool as well when they signed Thiago, but Klopp has been managing him smartly, so
mm,
that also plays a role, I guess. If we use Varane, we should make sure that he gets ample rest in between games, and he's managed well, so that that's why I guess it's important to, especially with Bailly and Jones both set to leave the club, we need to sign proper centre backs. I would say we should sign like 2 centre backs, maybe multi-purpose centre backs like
mm,
Daley Blind, someone who could like play different
mm,
positions. And one of the targets that we are looking at is the guy from Ajax, Julian Timber.
Hmm.
He is a good centre back. He can also play as a right back, but he has played very limited number of games there. So we can't exactly say that he can play right back because. But he's a good defender, as far as I've heard. I've seen only a couple of performances from him in the last few games of the league and the European games that they played here and there. But
Yeah.
he's one to look out for. And we are also looking for left-footed centre back, I guess. Maybe someone like Pau Torres, or again from Ajax, Lisandro Martinez. This guy can also play as a DM. So Lisandro Martinez. So yes,
I think
he's not.
if United decides to make the Prime Video, which I'm asking United to sign the deal, I think they should give a specific segment for Van der Sar. I think he's been supporting our club even post his retirement
Yeah,
in pretty weird ways. I
yeah,
mean,
true.
good in a good way. I'm not criticizing Van der Sar. I'm a huge fan of him. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be
And we need a
possible. Mm,
fullback too. As I said, we need a better backup for Shai. If we sell Alex Telles, we would also need another right back. I mean, Dalo is clearly not a starting right back, and if you're selling Van Bissaka, I don't know who you're going to buy at right back.
yeah,
It's a scary proposition.
yeah, and to go along with our poor defense, the midfield
Oh my God,
conundrum.
yeah.
I don't know where to start off with. With Pogba, who's been on and off. He had some 5 assists in the start of a game, and he was like we were thinking like he's gonna like finally do good something for us, but nothing has happened. Uh, uh, I don't know if Lingard, whom we thought will be getting some games, but he has been on and off for us. Yeah, the thing is like he's not getting games, but still the game which he had played, like we didn't see the best what we saw him in West Ham. Bruno, in fact, who had a pretty weird season. He doesn't seem to be on the pitch. His mind seems to be somewhere else, I could say.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's someone
It's
who's
just
going to put his 100%, that we are sure about it, the way he is. Again, this is what we perceive as passion on pitch, but but he's someone who's not going to be giving up so easily. We can see from his attitude, but this season he has been on and off, right?
Yeah, he has been. It's been a very weird season for all our midfielders. McTominay, I mean, he has been he has struggled a lot this season. Fred has been good whenever he has played a bit up front, like as a proper number 8. He's excelled at that. That is kind of his natural role as well. So he has excelled in that role. Bruno, I mean, no one will hit me if I say this has been his worst season ever since he turned a professional footballer. So
Yeah.
and yeah, Matic, he has shown glimpses, but again, his age is caught up with him,
Yeah.
and it's like a very sad indictment. And we can see we could see that Van de Beek was not going to get a single minute, and he was loaned out to Everton, which turned out to be a pretty poor spell for him personally. I mean, the club struggled massively as well, and he was also struggling. In hindsight, he could have fared better had he gone to Newcastle United, but I guess he made his decision and he's going to pay for it. I mean, Pogba is going to leave, but he had a wretched season. Again, as you said, he started off brilliantly, like 7 assists in 3 games or something like that. And I mean, he just fell off massively. Injuries and everything, one after the other, and I mean that horrible red card against Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's like he was towards the end. It kind of seemed like he just didn't want to be there. I mean, the fans didn't exactly warm up to him towards the end. They were like when he came off against Liverpool, you could see the boos ringing out towards Pogba. So yeah, it's like.
I think I feel sad for Pogba as well. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was promised something, but he
Yeah,
was
he was
never.
promised something. I think I don't know what to say. Like the stars weren't aligning for him, but even the way, as I said again, coming back to the way the ex pundits sorry, the ex players, the pundits mouthing about him. I think Roy Keane to start off with, the way he was speaking about Pogba. I think all these external pressures gave us a perception like what Pogba should be. Like we were fixated thinking Pogba for France should have been what Pogba for Manchester United. I think all this external factors has given us a weird perception about Paul Pogba. I think it's better and good thing. Yeah, I just feel for Pogba, and hopefully his next spell, maybe probably with Juventus, maybe I'm not sure. Uh,
Yeah.
will turn out good, and maybe we can judge him based on that performance, how he is doing for Juventus. I think that would be a good an apple to apple comparison,
I
I can
mean,
say.
to be honest, Syria
Standards.
will be very slow for Pogba. He will be like he would just sit, take his time, and decide where to pass, and he would still find his man. He would have a lot of time in Syria and a lot of space as well. Having seen a lot of Syria matches recently, even though some of the teams have increased their tempo, they tend to offer a hell lot of space, and Pogba would thrive in that league.
Right.
Like, yeah, so he would perform well in Juventus under Massimiliano Allegri. So he'll be good, but
Yeah, I think in that case I have to take back what I said, because I didn't watch Syria this season. I mean all the matches. So imagine if Pogba scores like 10 goals that season, I mean the coming season, and gives like 10-12 assists, people will be blaming Manchester United for that. I think that would be a whole problem for all the players who are leaving out, who are scoring for other clubs. I think that would be a different topic. I think we have to watch out for that. I hope like we fans don't get over emotional about it, seeing the
yeah.
players. I think that's going to be a different weird topic that we might be talking about, seeing our ex players performing well in X, Y, Z league. And that's going to
Definitely. I mean,
happen.
yeah,
See,
it is going to happen for sure. Yeah.
I think that's one pretty
I
weird
mean,
story.
imagine yesterday Smalling won the Conference League, and
Ah,
suddenly people were like, "Yeah, we kept Maguire and sold Smalling." Oh my God, you fucking
that's a good
idiots!
example. Yes, that's a very
I
good
mean,
example. That's exactly the same
yeah,
thing I was talking about. Yeah.
I mean, Roma finished seventh last season and sixth this season, and they've been like Smalling has been okay. It's been decent, but nowhere near good enough. Like for a top club, he's been good for Roma, and he was excellent yesterday. But again, in a system that we would want in a league as fast as Premier League, I don't think he would have survived, and he knew that as well. I mean, last season, if you remember the Europa League tie we had against Roma, Smalling was culpable for what, three of the goals that we
Yep.
scored. So,
Yep.
yeah, this revisionism is crazy, and we are going to see a lot of it. Imagine
Lot of
if Eric Bailly goes to a Spanish club or an Italian club and starts performing well. People will be like, "Yeah, you kept Maguire, but you sold Eric Bailly." It's going to happen for sure. And speaking of the midfielders, who do you want us to sign? I don't know. There are no concrete names that we are linked with other than Frankie De Jong and probably, I don't know, maybe just Frankie De Jong, I guess. So I don't know. Who do you want to sign?
I don't know. I think I was thinking about. I was like pretty much interested about Leeds' performance on the last day. You know where I am getting there, right?
Yeah.
I thought that would have I don't know, maybe a result for us in terms of signing couple of players from there. I think Rafinha was linked to us, if I'm not wrong. Calvin Phillips also was linked. I think Calvin Phillips was linked more
Then
to our
Rafinha.
club
Yeah.
than Rafinha. I thought that would have been a good potential signing, but seeing Leeds still in Premier League, which is a sad fact, right?
Yeah.
I personally wanted them to go out, but then yeah, Calvin
Yeah.
Phillips.
Exactly.
I think United still can go after him, but the wages
No,
would
I
be
don't
pretty
think he will.
ridiculously. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, pricey now, and he is a very staunch Yorkshireman Leeds supporter. So unless they got relegated, even he wouldn't have accepted a deal. So I guess it's pretty impossible for us to sign Calvin Phillips. I mean, he would have been a good signing. I'm not gonna lie. We really need a I mean, ball playing midfielder from the deep. We need a ball progressor from the deep because there is pretty much zero ball progression from our deep midfield. And Fred and McTominay are not natural progressors of the ball, so it's like it's dreadful. We need someone.
Yeah, maybe
Declan Rice can be
Declan
that one,
Rice. Yeah.
but again, he has kind of sort of become become a bit of an advanced midfielder, not exactly an out-and-out defensive midfielder, but he's very young. We can mold him into
We
one,
can mold him.
but
Yeah.
he's again ridiculously pricey, and I don't know whether West Ham are going to let him go or not. So that's a bit of a red flag. And Aurelien Tchouameni, I guess he's going to Real Madrid, and he will also cost a bomb. And without UCL football, I guess it's quite impossible. We could have gone for low cost, pretty much a free transfer target like Boubacar Kamara of Marseille, but I guess Aston Villa signed him. So I don't know. Maybe Sanger could be a good choice. He's a good player. We have
Yeah, and also I was looking at. I mean, after Manchester United, I was more interested in seeing Brighton's gameplay. I think they were. I mean, this topic might seem off one, but the way all the players have gelled up,
Yeah.
let's say Pascal Grob or Louis Dunk or the other players. I think. I'm not sure. I had this strong, strange notion that we should sign someone like Pascal. I think that's just my opinion. But yeah,
they are very good industrial midfielders. And Brighton, yeah, shout out to Graham Potter because he lost Ben White, who was their best player last season and their best defender. They didn't get a replacement. They lost another defender, Dan Burn, in the winter window. They didn't get a replacement, and they had a very injury-ridden season, a squad of very minimum number of players, but they still managed to finish in the top 10 with more than 50 points. So, and they beat us to pulp 4-0. So, yeah, kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Seeing all the way like the players are gelling up for this, I can't term them as a small club. I think we could look at the prospect of signing some from them. So that's just my opinion. Sticking on to the midfield, I think we have other players as well going out, like Ivan Mata. Probably it seems like he might be going off. You just wish that we had. Ivan Mata joined us when he was 25, 26. And
25, I guess.
and you look back and you see that have you wasted, and question yourself, question the management, like have you wasted Ivan Mata? I mean, the guy has won Champions League, he has won the Premier League, and he signs a big deal with United, and he joined when he was 25, 26. Like, can you just imagine like how personally it would have been feeling for him, like to be on the bench for a very long time, not getting game times, but still performing. I think the last couple of games, I think he was pretty brilliant. The game where he linked up with Ronaldo, I think it was turning back. And he was like turning back the clock. And it's pretty sad to see him that. I think it's safe to say that we have wasted Ivan Mata.
We have wasted him. I mean, we shunted him down to the right wing for a vast part of his peak period at United, and we just didn't use him in the right way. It's a very sad thing. And we really need a defensive midfield signing. I mean, if we go into this season without a midfielder, we will be royally fucked. I mean, beyond even the sixth place would look like a pipe dream if we don't sign a midfielder. And I'm not exaggerating or anything, because this existing midfield roster is very bad for the style that we would like to play. And especially we don't, even for a very primitive style, we don't have a ball progressor from deep midfield, and we don't have quality backups. I mean, I guess Van de Beek will come in and have a run in the team because Ten Hag knows Van de Beek very well. So if he stays, what will we have? McTominay, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Van de Beek, who else is there? I don't even know. So
I think there were like some the younger players.
Maybe James Garner and Hannibal Mejbri might get a run.
Charles Savage.
Savage is way too young. Even James Garner, I would prefer a Premier League loan for him. But looking at how we are going to operate in the transfer market, I guess Garner is going to stay and most probably get game time. He's a very good midfielder. I mean, he's been excellent for Nottingham Forest this season. So, but yeah, I would still prefer him to have another loan in Premier League. But by the looks of it, I guess he's going to stay. So it'll be if he stays, Gardner will be a player to look out for. Definitely, he will be very interesting in terms of his profile and in terms of how he plays the game. And Hannibal as well. He has very good spunk to his game, I guess. In the longer run, if we hold on to him, he might be the ideal Paul Pogba replacement, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing. Like you start talking about players, and you see that every field is like literally there's a vacancy or there's a question.
Yeah, exactly.
I just opened the list of players that are playing for us, and like every position is like questionable right now. And to talk about the forwards that we have, it's very saddening to see Rashford's performing like this. I hope he comes back. Like I think people who were really following up Manchester United for last 4 or 5 years know the potential of Rashford, what he is capable of. I would dare to say, go to the extent say that Rashford is going to make a good comeback, and when he does, like I'm going to stand at top of Twitter, maybe on Elon Musk's head, and like shout that Rashford is back. So he's someone like he is Manchester United made.
Yeah,
No?
I mean, I love Rashford. Who doesn't love Rashford? I mean, yeah, there are people who hate him, but so I love him, and yeah, I really hope he comes back to his best. I mean, he's extremely good when the team is set up to be a transition-based one. He struggles when we want to control the game more and have possession more, but he can improve. Definitely he can put his head down and start improving. I mean, the part of last season, I guess he completely dropped off mentally as well. You could see like he and Rangnick, I guess, didn't have a good equation most probably, and it just didn't work out for him at all last season. So
plus he was in the darker side of personally as well. All the media attention, or the way, like the same way people were asking Ole to be serious, people were asking Rashford to show the amount of interest he was showing towards charity on the football field, which was a wrong comparison, I believe. And I think that all this ingredients added up, and it's been pretty bad. Just you remember, like, when what was that match when Lindelof passed to Rashford and he scored a goal. I think it was a Champions League game, and there was this game, I think, against Liverpool. I think there was a similar ball, and Rashford couldn't even control that ball. And you see, like, what the dip in performance, the confidence. That should have been a goal. That should have been a Rashford goal. We should have been like 1-1 against Liverpool that game. And I don't know. I hope he finds his right state of mind, and I think it's gonna be a pretty decent season for him, Rashford. And I hope he links with Sancho as well. I think
Sancho has had an underwhelming season as well. I mean, he had a bit of a poor start, and then he had his injury issues and health issues, and he came back. He was actually really good in the mid part of the season. But again, towards the end, he dipped, and then he had this illness and stuff, and that's it. So maybe next season under Eric Ten Hag, he will have a clearer role, and he can perform well, I guess.
And I think the only guy left now is Cristiano Ronaldo. Where do you see Cristiano Ronaldo fitting into the squad next season?
I mean, Rangnick very subtly put it in his last press conference that Ronaldo doesn't press enough, and he doesn't. It was very subtle, but you could see what Rangnick was meaning there. And for a player who has faked, apparently, according to the Athletic, that he has faked 3 injuries whenever he heard that he was going to be benched for some games. It doesn't, it's a bad precedent when he is doing that. So I don't know he can still score goals. I mean, he did put his head down and work in a few games, like a few games, not a lot. Like say against Brighton or Brentford, when he was afforded
Yeah,
that bit of space. I
exactly.
mean, funnily enough, both those games came against three at the back systems where he could have that space between the midfield and the defense, and he could have wide spaces as well. The problem with Ronaldo is that when he drops off, he wants to be involved all the time. He wants to see more of the ball, so he drops off and he drops into those half spaces that Bruno would usually go into, or sometimes even the wingers would cut into those half spaces. So when he drops in, we unnecessarily overload that entire side or space. I mean, overloading on purpose is really good. We can free up the other side, but we unnecessarily overload and we are clueless as to what to do after we overload that side. Because Ronaldo, I guess it's his muscle memory or he just keeps dropping to the side. Benzema would shift to the other side, move consistently, but we don't. I guess they don't have that kind of an understanding. I don't think they did any work on that in the training ground. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know really. I mean, it's up to Ten Hag. I mean, similar to De Gea, we can't sell him. No club is going to be foolish enough to sign him at this point in time for almost more than $500,000 a week. So I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere you feel like you have to give credit where it's due. Like Ronaldo on a given day, he's going to be spectacular, but some of the most frustrating thing that I personally felt on seeing Ronaldo on the pitch is the way he was reacting, probably on being substituted or on being like storming off of the field. Maybe it's a personal view. I mean, again, I'm just talking out of my plain anger. I'm just being a little toxic as well. But to see
it's true. I felt the same as well. It felt a lot unprofessional when you're sulking like a baby. I mean, some people on social media say that it's the winner's mentality and all that. But you're 37. You're not 20. You're old. You have to protect yourself, and manager's going to manage you. If they feel that they want something else, just accept it and move on. It's like that's the problem when you think that you are ahead of the manager or the team. Of course, even though all the allegations are said, he's still a legend of the game and probably one of the best ever to do it. But it's weird. You got to buckle down sometimes. You got to respect the fact that you're old right now, and sometimes
weirdly it's the same thing that's happening with De Gea and Ronaldo. If you see, for that matter, De Gea is stopping the goals, Ronaldo is scoring the goals, but both are at the the extreme polarity. I mean, both are not in line with the modern game, as I say. Both are doing some aspect of football which is very good.
I guess,
the modern way of happening or the modern way of playing is past their I can't say capabilities, past their I don't know, maybe they're thinking or something.
Yeah. I guess Thierry Henry put it very well. Ronaldo is the medicine to his own poison. And it is true. Can't deny it at all. Sometimes, I mean, it's like, we could have scored more goals if we had a very fluid attacking line. And I mean, Ronaldo fans would say that, what would have happened? Martial was loaned out. Martial was not informed. Cavani was injured all the while, and Greenwood had his own issue, and he was suspended by the club. But still, someone would have played, and we would have done something. I'm pretty sure it would have been different, but we would have done something. Or, I mean, worst case scenario, it would have been the same. We wouldn't have improved. That's all. So. That's the problem when you buy someone and such a high amount of money to them. It's a bit of a disappointment.
I think Ten Hag has to make that big decision with all what we are saying. I think it was a similar case what had happened with Manchester City as well. They had Joe Hart, who won the Premier League, and then Pep came and he understood that his goalkeeping wasn't aligned with modern day goalkeeping. He literally got rid of Joe Hart. Like people
immediately.
Literally were having orgasms of calling him the best goalkeeper, England's number one goalkeeper. And Pep had that audacity to sell him out,
Drop him, yeah,
drop him.
exactly. And
So
it happened with Klopp. SAF used to do it consistently. SAF sold Beckham when he was at the peak of his powers. SAF sold Ruud van Nistelrooy when he thought he could do, when he thought he would, like when something struck him, he immediately sold those players off. He always maintained the fact that it was the club, the manager, and only after those two the players would come in. So it kind of has gone for a toss now. I guess the player power has become huge, and with all the these free transfers happening, and some of the transfers, when you hear those transfer fees and the signing on fee. I mean, the Haaland deal. Haaland got a 35 million signing on fee. His dad got another 35 million for no reason, and his agency, Mino Raiola's agency, got around 40 million. Euros or something. So it's like, the release clause was 60 million euros, but then the club had to pay another 100 million euros just to satisfy these people. Yeah, it's crazy. And with the increase in player power, I guess that might not be possible, but Pep is someone who is still in control. Same with Klopp. They are in control of whatever is happening at their clubs. So I guess there needs to be a singular vision of the manager and the management. Both have to be in the same line, and this is paramount, because whenever we've brought in managers, every time they've come in, LVG, Mourinho, Ole, all tried to clear out a large amount of people in their first season. They succeeded, but after that, it just became stale. It started becoming steadily stale, and it just stopped after a while. So the management has to pick up speed and work with new manager, because we are losing Cavani, and the only Martial, I guess, will be sold. So if Martial is sold, we'll have Rashford, Sancho, Elanga, and Cristiano Ronaldo. That's it. So we'll have to sign up, and I hope we get Facundo Pellistri back. I don't know if he's going, because he didn't get a lot of game time in Deportivo Alaves as well. But I wish we at least save one of those guys. Amad Diallo is still not physically ready for Premier League, so I would give him one more season somewhere. But I guess just have Facundo in around the squad, because we can't sign too many players at the same time. Sign a centre forward so that as a replacement for Cavani, and once Ronaldo leaves, that guy can take up the starting position. Yeah. I don't know who we are going to sign. We are linked with the only player that we've been linked with is Darwin Núñez.
I think it's a pretty tiring analysis of our squad as well.
Yeah.
I think some other aspect that we should be talking about is is related to the fan ambience or the atmosphere they're having at the stadium. I think there's a lot of talk about the renovation that should happen in the stadium. There's a lot of talk the infrastructure aspect that needs to be improved at the club. I don't have a good picture about it, but it tells a thing about our club, the training ground, which many are saying that it's still old fashioned in many ways. I think. Yeah. So it's not just the squad building, but the literal building that needs to be built in this club for that matter. So
it's like the foundation of both the playing squad and the club building, need to be strengthened.
Yeah, it's a
bit of a weird thing, and
it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah,
huge mess. You have built an Eiffel Tower for yourself, but you are too lazy to clean it or have a look at it. The owner is not looking at the steels that are rottening this.
Owner says that he sends the money to the person he has put in charge, but the person he had put in charge for more than a decade was completely incapable, inept, and whatnot. So
it's a pretty. Great
And
question.
one more thing about the management. What role do you see Rangnick will do? Once he's done, if we keep hearing that he's going to be this consultant and all that, but he's also going to be the manager of the Austrian national team. So
Yeah, just to stick on with Manchester United, because Austrian, okay, that's a
yeah,
different thing.
that's a different thing.
Yeah, just imagine him being here. I mean, he has taken all the inside notes of the team, the culture. That's a big thing that he has learned from this club, and the way that people have adapted to his style of play. I'm not sure how effective that is gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
him passing on the same message to Ten Hag about the team, about the perception. I don't know. People are going to be going out. I think I'm not sure how much power Brass is going to have in getting players. I'm not sure what does consultant really mean in football. Does it mean that he has a role in bringing good players to our club? Uh, if that's so, I hope he does bring in good players for us. But apart from that, I'm not sure. He has been a poor manager, and
Yeah.
I don't know how his experience gonna benefit Ten Hag. Maybe the mentality and the culture of players. But apart from that, is you understand what I'm trying to say, because his perception of the players has more to do with the skill that has been shown by this club. So I think
Yeah, that's
that's
also
what.
true.
uh,
And yeah, actually, I just realized that before coming, I don't know how United, like what they thought of when they were appointing Rangnick. Maybe they wanted to, get his idea and expertise on how to run the things behind the scenes, everything. But the funny thing is, before United, Rangnick was appointed the manager of Leipzig. Yeah, Leipzig twice, and both the times the person who appointed Ralph Rangnick as the manager was Ralph Rangnick himself.
hmm.
so yeah, it was like he was. It was clear that he was not a very willing manager. He was
Hmm.
more of a sports director kind of guy. But yeah, it was a marriage that just did not work out after the
Okay.
first week. So it's sad, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know if his consultancy really helps. Then yeah, he can stay and do his job. But I guess Ten Hag, it from his first two interviews, it does seem like Ten Hag will eventually go with what he thinks is the best for the club. And John Murta also said that Ten Hag has been solely his and Darren Fletcher's appointment. Like they have
Hmm.
driven this entire appointment process and recruitment process of Eric Ten Hag. So I hope they have a firm structure in place. To get the transfer deals done and sign good players, and because we need players, we need at
Hmm.
least 4 players in this summer window, to start putting up some kind of squad.
Hmm.
So yeah,
True. True. I think we are in deep trench. I think you need. I wish to see the mentality Tomine shows whenever we are in that situation. I wish to see Fred showing his masterclass. I wish to see Shaw doing this Roberto Carlos thing that he was doing under Ole. Uh,
yeah,
and I just wish to see people doing what they are supposed to do. Wish to see Bruno providing his beautiful assists for us and the goals. In fact, I wish to see Bruno taking the penalty over Ronaldo to get his motivation back.
yeah,
He was good at it. So I don't know. You just wish to see the vibes back at this club, and
yeah,
I think that's all you need. I think you give us a draw. You just give us the motivation that you had put your 100% on in
yeah.
the match on the field. I think that's what we are looking for as a Manchester United fan, rather than like I think yeah, I've just lost hope on seeking the instant gratification that I was a couple of years back. I think
Yeah,
all we need is a good performance, game by game. Do your good.
yeah.
I mean, giving our
Just
best, not
play well. Yeah,
play well.
exactly.
just put in your shift. I think the fans
And
deserve
you know
much
that,
more than this.
yeah, definitely. The fans deserve the passion that they show. Like, the amount of passion that they show, they should at least get 50% of it from the players. So, we all talk about passion, intensity, and mentality, or as obsolete terms sometimes. But a lot of clubs, tactics are very essential. They are the fulcrum foundation. But to win all these big things, you need that intensity, passion, mentality, and hunger. That's how Real Madrid team under Zidane was able to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. That's how
Yep.
Man City have won 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles. You need that motivation, and we would. We would really be happy if we see all those things.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we don't have a very good finish to this season, to the upcoming season, if we at least see some kind of improvement and some
Improvement.
kind of
Yeah.
structure, yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I think also just to add on to what we were talking about in the last episode as well, the social media pressure is being
Way too much, yeah.
way too much, is being stressful for all of us. I think if any of you feel that you need a break from it, I think that's the thing that you need to do. I think I've been doing for some time. I think you have been doing it, Bala, for some time as well.
Yeah.
And this constant how to say, the different stories or the threats that we are perceiving is too toxic. I think that
Yeah, yeah,
needs
they
to
are
be given a break, and I think everyone should take a chill pill, maybe enjoy the next maybe
2 months, I guess.
two
Yeah.
months couple of months, wait for Manchester United to start being Manchester United, I guess. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna take 2 months break of not thinking about Manchester United. Just mute the apps, mute Manchester United app, mute
uh,
whatever is it possible, mute Rio Ferdinand, mute Samuel, mute Goldbridge, mute Evra. Who else is there? Mute Tim Sherwood. All these
yeah.
people. I think I'm gonna take a break. I think it's been pretty exhausting. I think, and shout out to all our mutual friends as well on Twitter. I think they have been going through a lot. That's pretty evident. I think the emotional drain they have been getting, I think we all can reflect. So I hope that you guys are also getting a good break from all this mess, and we will keep supporting our club because we have just adopted United as our club. I think hope the good times will be back, but yeah, let's be patient. I think that's all we can tell for now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think yeah, that's all I have to say, and that's all we have to say. It's a very long 2-part episode, rant about Manchester United. We thought that we'll just speak straight from our hearts.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, keep supporting us, and do leave a subscribe on our Spotify. We are on Google Podcast as well, and thanks to those who are being a constant support for us as well. And
Yeah, thanks, guys. And just to have a wider reach, we have done both of these episodes in English, while we have usually done all our episodes in Tanglish. So, yeah.
just forgive me if my English was pretty lame or lousy, because uh, yeah, you'll understand why.
Yeah, and I
Some
mean,
things are better. Some things are better spoken in your mother tongue.
yeah,
The
I
more
mean, sometimes when we are instantly thinking, we keep thinking in our native language,
native
and
language, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Even
So,
like I wanted to abuse Samuel Lackers in my mother tongue, but
yeah,
it wasn't
it's
quite possible.
sad that we weren't able to do it in these episodes. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening and keep supporting us. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.